Oh, right. There's a full-blown panic. The Democrats, they are crying. They are running. They are screaming because CNN reports sources close to Harris camp say that they are having flashbacks of 2016. Ah, flashbacks. Oh, no. Oh, no. We're going to lose to Trump. I love it. I love it. Mwah. It's pure gold. Go ahead. Panic more, Democrats. Keep sending me more emails saying, oh, please give us money. Please give us money. Please give us money. Why am I going to give you money, Democrats? You keep asking me for money. Asking me for $3, $5, $10, $20, $25, $50, $100. Do I look like I'm made out of money? No, I am not. For those of you who think I'm a lottery winner, hell no. Nope, I'm not some Fortune 500 descendant. Oh, boy. Wouldn't that be great? No, that's called no bueno. That's called no bueno. But hey, listen. We can enjoy this clip from CNN together because the Democrats are crying. They're scared. They're panicking because they're getting those flashbacks of 2016. And for that, I say good. This is delicious and nutritious.
We have some new CNN reporting today about what is going on behind the scenes inside the Harris campaign and more broadly among Democrats who are growing more and more anxious about a 2016 redux. CNN's Priscilla Alvarez joins me now. Priscilla, we were just joking here at the table that anxious Democrats happen on a day that ends in Y, but this is something that perhaps is warranted given the data that they're seeing. Explain your great reporting.
Yeah, look, that's exactly right, Dana. And this has been a campaign that was described by multiple Democrats, allies, aides, to the vice president as a good vibes campaign. But what's also creeping in now is that anxiety. The reason for that is because these polls are not really moving, despite multiple battleground blitzes, despite the opportunities she has had across media outlets. There is still not a lot of movement.
You know what this is? Here, speaking of movements, it's a bowel movement. You want to know why things aren't moving? It's because Kamala isn't energizing. She's not that incredible. She's an absolute disaster. When she first made her announcement in 2019 on Martin Luther King Day, folks, everyone was excited for Kamala. She was a combination of Obama and Hill Dog. And yet, the more Kamala spoke, the more people realized, ugh, ew, this lady doesn't know what she's talking about. Why does her breath smell like Doritos? She has no plan. She has no policies. Her campaign went belly up before the first Democratic primary vote took place. She got destroyed not once but twice by Tulsi Gabbard. It is absolutely sad and pathetic. And now, here she is, the last-minute candidate, supposedly to save the day, and yet it's still not good enough. So, of course, Democrats, you're having flashbacks of 2016 because Kamala is just like Hillary Clinton, and that's not a good thing.
From voters who are moving more towards her versus former President Donald Trump. In fact, I had one source describe it to me this way, quote, people are nervous. They know the polls are tight. And a lot of us are having these flashbacks to 2016, too. We know when it can go the wrong way and it can still feel fresh. So 2016 is the key here. When I've talked to Harris campaign officials, it often comes up in conversation. Where did Hillary Clinton have her pitfalls? And where can they make up that ground and build on what Joe Biden did in 2020? One of those, to give you an example, is those red and rural districts. Look at, for example, Cambria County and Pennsylvania.
Well, what do you expect those people to do? The economy's screwing everybody. You know, Democrats, you keep hoping that Republicans are going to vote for you. Maybe instead of just trying to go out for Republicans, you also try and go out to independents and progressives, fight for progressive policies. The reason why you're having flashbacks is because now more people are vocal about leaving the goddamn Democratic Party. You got Latinos leaving the Democratic Party. We've done videos about that. You have Arab and Muslim voters leaving the Democratic Party. We've done videos about that. We have black voters leaving the Democratic Party. And folks, after this video segment, Korean voters are leaving the Democratic Party. Oh my goodness gracious, cretaceous Democrats. It's like you're purposely crapping the bed and you're wondering, gee, how come people don't want to hang out with me? It's because you smell like shite and Kamala is a terrible candidate. My goodness. After the DNC convention, when the Democrats should have put the pedal to the metal, when they should have been full speed ahead, Kamala and her team decided to take a break. And what happened during the weekend after the DNC convention? Well, Trump got himself a boost from RFK Jr. and Tulsi Gabbard. Now, that did help along the way, but since then, look at the numbers. They've been fluctuating back and forth. You know what that should tell you and should tell me? That right now, whoever's gonna win the presidency, it's gonna come down to voter enthusiasm. And before I ever hear the vote blue no matter who sycophants coming out of the woodwork saying, first of all, you guys need to vote for Kamala because Trump's real bad and don't vote for third parties, well then earn our vote. Stop begging me for money. Stop trying to bully me and my audience and actually fight for policies. Maybe stand for something, which again, Black voters leaving the Democratic Party. Latino voters leaving the Democratic Party. Arab and Muslim voters leaving the Democratic Party. White voters leaving the Democratic Party. Do you have anything? Kamala has absolutely negative charisma.
Now, former President Donald Trump won in that county, but the former President Biden was able to gain some ground there, more than Hillary Clinton had in 2016. The vice president has already visited twice. And so that is the type of strategy that they're trying to deploy to try to make up that ground where they saw Hillary Clinton wasn't able to in 2016. Then, too, there's the mobilizing. Talk to Democrats. They're always pretty boastful about their ground game, and they continue to be so, but that needs to turn into votes. So certainly some anxiety and nerves setting in as Election Day gets closer and those polls are just remain deadlocked.
Really important reporting.
Yes, really important reporting. Oh my goodness, how important it is. But hold on, we got a video here from Case Study QB. Please be sure to follow him on Twitter. He is wrongly being censored after all. And the thing is, folks, yes, this is from Fox News. So, hey, take it with a grain of salt. I mean, if we're going to sit through CNN, Fox News is no different. But Harris is losing support among Korean Americans. Shout out again to Case Study QB. He's wrongly being censored.
New data shows Kamala Harris losing support among one key demographic. Who are we talking about here, and where is it happening?
Okay, so we are talking about Korean Americans, and they are a real key to the Democrat voting base. Their support has been faltering since 2020, and this is going to be bad for Georgia. So this is happening in large part because of the economy. Voters in that group, they also say that the Harris campaign has been too focused on saying that Trump is racist. So the Korean vote, it's become really important, like I said.
Trump's racist. He's racist. Trump is racist. 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 He's a racist man.
Is that all you got? Help, help, help. We're starving. Trump's bad man. Orange man. Vote Kamala. Help, help, help. We're being flooded. Be sure to vote against Trump and support Kamala. Help, 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 help. We're all sick and dying. We're all in medical debt, student debt. The American dream is becoming the nightmare. You better vote Trump. Stuttered there. You better vote for Kamala because we gotta stop Trump.
Said in Georgia, that is a state that has a large Korean population. Areas like Duluth are like a mini Koreatown. They have helped deliver Democrat votes in that swing state that we know is going to be very important this November. They have, the Democrats, a big Korean problem on their hands. Listen to this. According to the 2024 Asian American Voters Survey, Korean Americans' Democrat Party identification has dropped from 51% to 38% in just 4 years, from 2020 to 2024. So that is a big problem for that base, and there's a lot of Koreans in Georgia, an essential state for this election.
Didn't know that, and it's fascinating. Good stuff, Madison. Thank you.
So, what can we take from this? Well, we know for a simple fact that Democrats have nothing to run on and that they're losing more of their coalition. I mean, look, people might have forgotten how bad Kamala truly was as an individual candidate. But the thing is, we can't pretend to show ignorance, and neither can corporate media as much as they want to, because there are so many articles and stories showing how Kamala Harris has been polled as the worst vice president in U.S. history. Biden's approval ratings, when he was still president, and again, we don't even know if he truly was the president, were much more higher than Kamala's. Kamala's staff, she hemorrhaged so many of her staff members. So either one, she's a very high standard person, or two, she's absolutely terrible to work with. And I'm going to go with option two. She's absolutely terrible to work with because look at her voting record. Look at who she is. Look at how she's failed miserably at every single task given to her. Look at how her campaign went belly up. And look at how her campaign is struggling against Donald Trump. So all these people who are working for Kamala Harris's campaign, all the Vote Blue No Matter Who X accounts and Instagram accounts, all these big channels that are going to bat for the Democrats. If you're having PTSD, if you're having flashbacks of 2016, fine. Go ahead. Cry in a corner. What's going to matter is voter turnout. Voter turnout's key. And you know something? The economy is a front and center issue. And under the 4 years, guess what? Things didn't improve. And now we're seeing how this administration has treated Americans, especially when man-made or natural disasters hit communities. Look at the people of East Palestine, Ohio, and people of Flint, Michigan. These are, again, people who have been exposed to dangerous chemicals and so many other dangerous elements in their environments. Look at what happened to the people of Lahaina. And now let's look at what happened to the people of Georgia, North Carolina, South Carolina, Tennessee, and Florida. Florida. Are you telling me that people aren't going to respond to this? And not to mention, especially in an interview with The View, how Kamala said she wouldn't change anything if she had to fix one thing while Biden was president, if she was in charge, and she said nothing. So great. Nothing would fundamentally change under Kamala Harris. So I think we know what a Kamala Harris administration would look like. It would be exactly a click, copy, paste version of Joe Biden's administration. Kamala is not going to change anything. And so when voters hear this, no matter the color of their skin or who they worship, what generation they're part of, they're going to vomit inside their brain and say, like, hell no, I'm not going to support the Democrats. And yet Democrats, you're shocked that people are voicing their thoughts about you. For too long, Democrats, especially after 2016, a lot of you smug liberals were writing articles blaming people for why we got Donald Trump. Democrats, the reason why Democratic establishment, Democratic politicians, Democrat sycophants, Democrat talking heads, the reason why we have Donald Trump is because you guys and gals made him. And I have the absolute proof of it. Before the 2016 primary, Donald Trump was convinced and encouraged by the Clintons to run in the Republican primary. Corporate media gave him free press in 2016, as they continue to do so. Everybody who's in the liberal sphere created Trump derangement syndrome. Democrats, the reason why you're panicking is because you made this mess. You're the ones that started this. It is not my job. It is not the job of my audience members. It's not the job of voters to clean up your mess. You did it. You fix it. And if you lose, that's not my problem. Because you want to know what's going to happen after election night? I'm still going to continue living my life, as is my audience, as is everybody else. And if you lose this, that's on you. It's your own fault. Take some responsibility and stop blaming people. And if you're still going to have a panic attack, be sure to film it so I can laugh at it with my audience, because that's what I'm going to do. I am going to scour the World Wide Web, should Trump win, and find a whole bunch of videos of all of you crying.
If you fool me once, it's because I didn't think a guard was needed. If you fool me twice, it's because I didn't learn the lesson, so it bears repeating. If you try the same play 3 times running, it's because you know what's coming, and you didn't come to lead, you came to purposefully be misleading. Democracy is dry. It's been a century bleeding. The husk is gaping open to the sky, out in the field where all the sheep just keep on circling and worrying and bleeding. They're waiting for the shepherd that they've tried to hide their faith in, but he's so appealing. They'd gladly give their fleece. It's such a freeing feeling. that even when he leads them to the ledge and starts to urge them on, they're positively beaming. They were told that they were on their way to save democracy, so even as they plummet, they just gloat. They don't consider screaming. And halfway up the cliff, the shepherd's cozy little mittens wrap around the staff of shattered human hopes on which he's leaning. He shows the gentle grin that used to stir your inner spark, and he says, "Not me, us," as he gestures to the oligarchs. He knows that if he runs, they're going to stop him like a stolen car. And he'll easily surrender because it bought a lot of time for laying mines in all the grassroots. Suddenly, the tiniest of movements gets you blown apart. Suddenly, you're in a play that's set on an election day and voting for the fire, unaware you're playing Joan of Arc. Suddenly, the shepherd pulls the rug and slips a hood across your clueless mug, and everything goes zero dark. I'm going to warn you once more before it's 2024 and you fuck around and find out who your heroes are. To take a step back from the herd and you'll learn that you can spot who all the shearers are. If you really want to know the product that they're selling, I can take you where the mirrors are. If you think your voice is finally ready, I can tell you where the lyrics are. I hid them in a box I had to bury neath the cobble when they carpet bombed the promenade and raided all the street bazaars. Now all we've got's the marketplace, and you're too broke to even bother asking what the options for your treatment are. Suddenly, the raw debris of homeless human dignity will find it has 100 teeth for every badge and sweeper's arm. Suddenly, they speak in solidarity and each is armed. Suddenly, the sheep can see the shepherd for his truest form and all pitch in at once to help him buy the farm. And now it's zero dark. And all is calm and peaceful save the distant wail of sirens that approach beside the flames of dawn. Suddenly, the carrot's just a string that's on a stick, and all your movements make you sick because the prize is gone. Now, we could go and flee into the forest low and meek, or we can exercise our right to feast and go and graze on Biden's lawn. Because he's been sowing seeds that seep a toxin out to sap a bit from each of us and keep on leaching decades after Biden's gone. So regardless who they summon out of hell to come and do the job, it will not feel like Biden's gone. But in that time of hopelessness, you cannot trust the shepherd when he once again comes asking you to humor him his siren song. And it's cute that you can innocently, honestly assume that's just a symptom of a system that was wired wrong, and not the standard feature, basic function, primary objective of a mass hypnosis firebomb. You don't need to know the words to cry along. Someday it'll hit you like an officer who pistol whipped their ride along. Broke his jaw and kept his job and kept it moving right along. That voting isn't red or blue or black or white or right or wrong. Voting's like a firing squad where you can choose the firearm. It's slow extinction by and large. It's Super Tuesday supercharged. It's all your futures, roots and all, just tossed out on a garbage barge. It's everybody dropping out to push the biggest oligarch. It's everybody voting fire, registered as Joan of Arc.